100-hour fasts. This is what people are watching. So I've been watching a lot of these videos on going and doing 100-hour fasts. I'm gonna tell you my recommendations at the end of what I think you should do instead, but let me tell you a summary of what I have seen on YouTube, because I get this idea simply because, number one, I have patience doing this stuff. Number two, after doing quite a bit of research, I found there's a number of reasons why people are doing it. First of all, it's just fun to do something extreme. Second, why 100? Why not 98? Why not 96? 96 is actually 4 days, but 100 is 4 days and 4 hours, which sounds kind of cool. But why do it? First of all, I'm going to exclude all the spiritual stuff and believing in some man in the sky, whoever your deity is, and he demands that you fast. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about health, the effect on your body, and what we know that happens. So first of all, people are trying to do this they say they're doing it for mental clarity. They say they're doing it to save money on food and time, because time is so valuable, and these people's time is so valuable that they can't spend 3 times a day. You have to prepare meals. What a waste of time. Imagine if someone can give you an extra 3 hours a day. Just stop eating, right? But the ultimate reason is they're trying to lose weight. You see, people are obese. A lot of people are obese. A lot of people have disrelationship with food. Some people have genetic disorders. Some people have medical conditions that cause them to be large and lovely. And they don't want to do that. The people that say they love to be large and lovely, if you love being large and lovely, why would you fast for 100 hours? The other interesting thing is people love big words. We love the word autophagy, and there's this constant theme on YouTube that I'm gonna go on a limb here, and I know you're probably already typing, but you need to stop typing and listen to this so you can really type. This word autophagy, people are doing fasting thinking that if they don't eat for 100 hours, that their body is going to eat away all the cancer cells and all the dead cells of their body. There's really very limited ways to measure autophagy. Our body is constantly eating away and protecting ourselves. All you gotta do is catch a cold and you know that your body's immune system will eventually create autophagy. Autophagy occurs, by the way, whether you're eating or not eating. That's important to understand. But people that are like, oh, I'm protecting myself against cancer, or people that even have cancer are starving themselves for 4.5 days, hoping that they're gonna cure cancer. And I'm just gonna let you know, this is a very bad idea, a very bad idea. But what actually happens if you do fast for 12 hours, 72 hours, 100 hours, or maybe 7 days? Here's what happens. Number one, your body is going to start starving to death. The reason why you're going to break the fast is because you don't want to die. What happens when you're starving to death, in your pancreas, you know your pancreas secretes insulin, but it also secretes another hormone called glucagon. And glucagon goes and mobilizes the fat cells and breaks them down through a process called gluconeogenesis, and creates glucose so that your brain doesn't die and your body doesn't die. Because if your glucose goes too low, you can die. So your body, because it's starving, will start to break down fat in the beginning. But also, and here's the problem, it starts to break down muscle tissue and bone tissue as well. So when you lose weight, you're not just losing fat cells, you're losing muscle tissue and you're losing bone. Does anybody think this is good? I don't think it is. So eventually what happens is you will have a situation where your body is producing glucagon. You're now starting to break down fat cells. The water from the fat cells are now liberated out of the fat cells, and you start urinating a lot. And you lose a tremendous amount of weight, at least on the scale, because you're losing water weight. Also, you're losing fat. But like I said, you're losing muscle tissue and bone tissue as well. Hopefully, when you finish the fast, you will start rebuilding the body. And this is the thought process that people have, is that I'm gonna let my body get broken down and I'm gonna start new and fresh. What many people don't understand is your body is always doing that. So what's a more reasonable approach? I'm gonna tell you. Number one, start working out. And I don't care if you're just gonna walk, lift weights, do cardiovascular exercise, or do anything. But working out should be a long-range goal that should be occurring your entire life. The second thing, in regards to food, many people have a disrelationship with proper nutrition. And so this is the reason why such extreme diets exist, because people are trying to reset their body. Well, your body's not a computer where you could just shut it off and then start all over again, or hit Control, Alternate, Delete, and just hit restart. It doesn't work that way. Your body's always in a constant state of homeostasis. So instead of trying to starve for 4 days and then restarting, just restart and start eating a diet that you think is sustainable for your entire life. What can you eat for breakfast? What can you eat for lunch? What can you eat for snacks? What can you eat for dinner? Most people have a very limited cuisine. When it comes down to it, if you write all these things down, what can I eat for breakfast? What can I eat for lunch? What do I like? What are the varieties of things? You're gonna find that when you write it down on a list, you don't have an unlimited list. You probably, because of your taste buds, like certain foods, and you'll find that you probably can only come up with 10 different dinners, 10 different lunches, and maybe 4 or 5 different breakfasts that you like. How many snacks can you come up with? Write all this down and come up with a way that you can eat this way forever. You see, your body is always in a state of homeostasis. Autophagy is always occurring. Nutrition is always occurring. You're constantly losing fat and gaining muscle, or losing muscle and losing fat at the same time, all the time. It's always a balance, like the waves that come up and down. You guys remember this interview with Peter Attia and Joe Rogan? Very famous. I know a lot of people are watching this stuff. 4.7 million views. And Peter Attia was talking about all the benefits of long-term fasting with Joe Rogan. That was 4 years ago, by the way. Just this year, Peter Attia has now said he no longer does that type of fasting. And the reason why is because when he did DEXA scans, he was finding out that he was losing muscle mass, losing bone density. Sure, he's losing fat, because that's what happens when you don't eat food, dummies. You lose weight, and the first thing that's gonna go is fat. So instead of doing all this 100-hour fasting, trying to reboot your system, and thinking that this is somehow gonna cure cancer and things like this, bad recommendation. A better recommendation would be to come up with a plan that you can follow for the rest of your life and just do that. But remember, laughter is the best medicine, unless you have diarrhea.